Hey, witches!
Hi, hello, welcome back to another Well of Ascension episode.
Yeah, it is.
We're getting to the very end, and Brandy finished the book.
Yeah, because just like you get to a certain point and things happen so fast that I just couldn't stop. So here we are.
I know I was going to continue reading last night, and then I was like, I'm really tired, and I honestly just need to go to bed or like start getting ready for bed. I didn't do that.
Yeah.
I went to bed after like 1.
I went to bed on time last night, but I still was struggling all day. I was not super productive today, but it's okay.
Yeah.
So this is part 5 of the book called Snow and Ash. And we start on chapter 49. And we start out with Tyndall giving Ellen a hard time. And I just feel like Sazed probably should have talked to her about the plan and everything. I get why he didn't, but like she clearly is not on board. So yeah. I feel like he just wanted her to go to protect her. Like selfishly, he wanted her to be safe. But I feel like I don't know. I feel like he should have known that this was not gonna go over well. And ultimately, she's like, "I'm not fucking going." Like she does not go with them.
There was just a lot of arguing in the first part of this about whether or not they should go and not go, and I was like, I don't know anything that's happening right now. I don't think it's good that they're going, but I also don't think it's good that they stay. So like,
yeah, like it seems like a lose situation.
Yeah.
But ultimately they decide they're going and they're packed and they're putting everything on their like horses. I'm reading a different book right now and it's got like dragons, so I was like, wait, these are horses, right? Like they don't have mythical being or mythical creatures that they ride around on. Spook is there, Spook is going with them. And then all of a sudden, here comes Alrianne. And she's going too.
I like low-key like Alrianne because of what happens in this episode, but I also I don't know, I just can't trust her.
Yeah. I feel that.
Not because she's like Set's daughter. Like that's not it. It's just one minute she's over here and then the next she's over here.
Yeah. And she's got like this
aloof.
Yeah, well she's like, almost got this
it's
like
fine.
Yeah, but she's not really like that. Like
yeah,
we see like glimpses of the real her and it's not this ditzy little noble.
It's a good play, but
yeah. But she decides she's going with them. And they're like, no, the fuck you're not. And Vin's like, we don't like you or want you to come. And she's like, I'm coming.
Whether she likes it or whether they like it or not. It's not like she just, can I come? No, she was like, okay, thanks. Grab my horse.
Yep. And then as they're trying to leave, a group of like horsemen come from Strath's army to like intercept them. And Vin was like, nope, not doing that. And
here we are.
Yeah. She basically goes back and uh blows like pewter dust in their faces to make them not be able to see and confused.
This is actually really smart, and I am so glad that she thought of it. I mean, I'm sure it's been thought of before. I'm sure it's been done before. But, like, I also haven't read it.
Yeah.
It hasn't been done that we are aware of.
Right,
it's
exactly.
So cool.
And so Ellen's like, he might send people after us still, but like, no, he won't, because Vin's with you and he'll know that that's pointless and just wasteful. Although, I am still curious about Zane's spike. Could he send Zane after them? Because, like, they didn't kill him correctly for an Inquisitor.
See, and that's what I was thinking. I was like,
they didn't remove the spike.
He got that spike in him.
Yeah.
Is that, like, giving him life force? Like, what is that?
Right. So I am still like, And
also with Straff being essentially the person who would, you know, kind of mine or do whatever with the atrium, like back when the Lord Ruler was alive, he was the head of that, essentially. I feel like he would know, too, how to create an Inquisitor.
Right.
Now, I know the Inquisitors are, like, the police of the religion, essentially. I mean, give or take. I also kind of think they would be used to protect a very valuable item, such as the atrium.
Yeah, I can see that.
So, I feel like Straff knows how to create one.
Oh, for sure.
And maybe he just is like, maybe the reason why he hasn't actually done it to himself is because of, like, maybe seeing how far they go. I don't know. Anyway, go ahead.
No, that's all I said about that. I was just like, is he going to send Zane after them, or are they really just going to get away? Because just sending regular soldiers after them would be stupid, because Vin will just kill them. So
yeah, but also Zane's dead, so
yeah. But the spike is just throwing me off, like.
As of now, he's dead.
Then Alrian is like, all right, thanks, bye.
And I know, takes off. Just pieces out. I'm like,
yeah. What the fuck?
Where are you going?
And we don't know. She just takes off. Like,
yeah, and nobody goes after her. They're like, we don't have time for her. And it's like,
oh, yeah. We told her not to come. If she wants to do that, she's on her own. Bye. Yeah, and then I don't have anything until page 638, which is when it's with Straff.
I really like how the part where we're talking about we're talking with what's his name? Sazed. We're talking with Sazed. He made a really decent point where he was like, do you honestly think that Kelsier is going to protect these people? Because we're talking about, like, everyone knows this is a suicide mission. They all are self-aware of their position right now, and with everything that's happening in the Koloss basically at their gates. So they're all kind of talking again. They're on the city wall. They're watching the group disappear. And so they're all speaking to each other about kind of like what's to come. And Sazed's, you know, the calm, cool, and collected kind of scholar that just kind of relays the information out to everybody, either whether or not they ask or whatever. And he's Clubs is there, and Clubs is upset because Captain Demew was preaching the to his soldiers about the savior, or like Kelsier's religion, and Clubs told him not to. Clubs is very pessimistic. He's very, oh, well, we're gonna die today, that's fine, okay, on with today. And he said, I don't want that nonsense cluttering their mind. And Sazed's like, it's not nonsense, it's faith. And Clubs was like, do you honestly think that Kelsier is going to protect these people? And he said they believe it, and basically he's saying, and that is enough. And I mean, yeah, it is. If that's what they believe, that's fine. Whether it's they're going to be saved alive or dead, it doesn't matter. That's what's
keeping them going.
Yeah, it's that hope. And Clubs got upset, and he goes, that isn't enough, Terraceman. These people fool themselves by believing in the Savior. And Sazed said, you believed in him. You followed him. You believed in the Savior enough to overthrow the final empire. And Clubs goes, I don't like your ethics, Terraceman. I never have. Our crew, Kelsier's crew, fought to free this people because it was right. And Sazed go, because you believed it to be right. And Clubs says, and what do you believe to be right, Terraceman? Sazed goes, that depends. There are many different systems with many different worthy values. And I was like, my man, Sazed. Get him. Because from the sounds, like, at this point, like, we can tell that Clubs is not very happy about other religions. Not from any other aspect other than he's just a little pessimistic. Little atheist, that's fine. And he, Club said, and then left. And Ham's like curious because he's the debater of the group. He goes, aren't you going to answer him on this? Club says, he said enough. His belief is situational. To him, even the Lord Ruler was a deity because people worshipped him or were forced to worship him. Aren't I right, Terraceman? And he goes, yes, though the Lord Ruler might have been something of an exception. He goes, but you still keep the records and memories of the Steel Ministry's practices, don't you? He goes, that's situational. And it's like, yeah, that might be situational, but it's also part of history. It's part of something that helps create things that do not happen again.
Right.
So this whole entire like spiel that I've been on has been basically saying that you don't have to be the only thing to be right. There doesn't have to be one thing. There could be multiple things. And that's kind of what religion is. Like, I don't personally like Catholicism. I think they're a little backwards. I also was raised Catholic. I was also raised Catholic, so like I have an idea on it. I went to school for, you know, up until I went to junior high. Had to go to church, had to wear a uniform, had to have very strict rules. I couldn't have jewelry in, and if I had jewelry, it had to be one piercing. I couldn't have makeup, and it couldn't be colored chapstick, and I couldn't have my nails colored, like shit like that. Very strict. Right. But do I believe in the religion? No. Do I care that anybody else believes in it? No. Just don't be a fucking dick like those who were in the religion where I was from. But Sazed's saying, like, it doesn't matter if it's a religion or not. Each one has its own worthy causes or worthy values and beliefs that benefit those. And that's why he does what he does. It helps give him that hope. And that's kind of what he's all about. He's all about giving that hope. That's probably why he's not a very good scholar, but he's a good scholar / rebel. But Clubs is upset, and I'm like, you know what? Clubs is acting like a racist little shit. And he shouldn't, because he's fucking Scott. He's been racist against, like, he's been on the receiving side of that racism. So, like, the fact that he's like, all religion's bullshit. And it's like, okay, what hope did you have when you were being fucking, like, shit on by the Steel Ministry? Fuck you.
Right. And he did believe in Kelsier and follow Kelsier's plan. Like, that was what happened. Does he believe Kelsier is a deity? No. But that was what gave him hope at the time. Like, just, he's kind of being a butthead.
And that's kind of what religion's all about. It's a figure that exudes values that you should follow in. And that's kind of what it all... This is basically Kelsier's fucking Bible. What the fuck do you mean? We're just reading it in, like, you know. But that's the thing. That's what religion is. It's whether or not somebody is a god, whether or not somebody is all-powerful, almighty. We could argue. I will argue with you if you're a dick. But that's the thing. All religion is all about one thing that has values, or you're supposed to walk in the way of this or walk in the way of that. That's kind of what we say on every single not folklore. Yeah, folklore. In all our folklore episodes.
Yeah.
Okay, there's the first spiel.
So the next thing I talked about was Straff and his poison.
Oh my god, Straff's a fucking drug addict. I love it.
Yeah, so Zane never poisoned Straff. Although he did sometimes make Straff think that he poisoned him because he was Amaranta's lover, basically. She talked him into making him think that he had been poisoned. So he would go to her for an antidote, which she laced with drugs. And when he started to feel bad, it would be because he needed his drugs. He was having withdrawal symptoms, which is fucking funny.
I think it would have been so cool too if, like, she got... Okay, so, like, long story short, he caught on to what she was doing, and, like, he was having drug withdrawals.
Yeah.
And so he caught on and he killed her and messily took an antidote, and you know what? It worked. But regardless, she straight up was like, bitch, you don't like me no more. I'm only 28. Fuck you. This pussy's still good.
Yeah.
But she was like an obsessed lover. That's exactly what it was. And the fact that she, I think it honestly, like, low-key, I think it would have been funnier if, like, she got away with it and he didn't kill her. I mean, we all know Zane's dead, but I think it would have been funny if, like, he was still continued to be poisoned. And he's like, Zane's here. And honestly,
yeah,
he
just
probably
like super paranoid.
Yeah, and he probably would have gone fucking insane.
Yeah.
Because he doesn't know where Zane is. He hasn't heard from him, but he's still getting poisoned. I think that would have been fucking funny.
It would have. The only thing I didn't like about this storyline was that I feel like they always say that poison is the woman's drug or the woman's murder weapon. And so that part I was like, ugh. But technically she wasn't poisoning him.
No, she wasn't trying to kill him or anything. She was...
Yeah. She was trying to stay relevant.
Yeah. Trying to be the new the new talked about hope. The new thing.
Yeah.
It's basically like just she basically gave him something that provided him some euphoric whatever. Got him hooked.
Yep.
And then when he started feeling like shit, then that's what happened.
Yeah.
My favorite is that he doesn't actually, like, through all the years of, like, I mean, he probably picked his women appropriately for, like, allomantic reasons. But I feel like if you're a noble and you, first of all, took your son, your 12-year-old son to the brothel,
yeah.
and you're like, have sex with that. Oh, you had sex with that? All right, well, we gotta murder it. Sorry. Like, I feel like he probably didn't give a fuck, and he just went around, and he probably had a few drugs here and there, and I just think it's funny that he's probably put himself in this situation quite a few times before, willingly, and he's not recognizing it now. Now, I could be wrong, and he could be fucking straight-laced, I don't know, but I think he's got a little bit of something going on. Other than now. But.
Yeah. And that's the end of chapter 49. Strath takes this antidote and passes out, so we don't know.
Yeah, he basically just grabbed fistfuls of things and hope for the best. Hope to wake up.
And then we go to Alrienne. And I'm cracking up. Like, she has found this little band of bandits that she has just, like, taken over, and they are just serving her, and it's like...
She knows how to work it.
Yeah.
Well, I do think it's cool, too, because whenever we hear about rioting or soothing, it's literally just, like, dampening or increasing certain feelings. But, like, when that happens, it's... You don't feel, or you don't see the intricate details of this power or whatever. You basically just sit there and watch and say, like, all right, that one's feeling anxious. All right, you're not going to be feeling anxious anymore. Oh, you're upset? Let's increase it. Like, those are the only two emotions that we really ever fucking saw.
Yeah.
But Alrienne actually, like, thinks about it and actually has, like, a specific thing of, like, how she grabs an emotion and goes for it. Like, her and Breeze are perfect together. They are the same person.
They really are.
And honestly, they would be quite the formidable duo, considering their powers and how well they are at, like, using them.
Yeah. And basically, she's going back to her father's army to try to convince him to help, to go back and join the fight and help Ellen's army against everyone else.
Now, he did say he was going to do it.
He did, but he's like...
He's going to go for the one that has a fighting chance. Yeah. I also really like that she's like, there's nothing to go home to, Father. Like, we need to stay in Luthadel. We need to help. This is our new home.
Right. We can go home, but nothing's going to be there. Like,
we have no funds. We have nothing. Like, we're going to be taken apart anyways. We might as well stay here where it's, like, considered safer.
Yeah.
Even though it's not safe at all. But, I mean, regardless, it's... we could see her working the court systems.
Yeah. And, like...
And I wonder if she... Not that she's behind it all, but I wonder if she had, like, a major role in things back where they came from.
Yeah.
Because he doesn't dismiss her.
No, he doesn't. He's like, okay, like, we'll go back, but we're going to join whichever army is going to win, and then they will help us get our land back eventually, basically, is what she's trying to sell him. But that's it of her, and then we're with Ellen and Vin, and they're like, just, I don't know, they're just like chatting and kind of bantering back and forth, and then she's talking to Spook. And he's like down on himself. He's like, I never do anything useful for the crew, blah, 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 which is super untrue. Like, he's done a lot of spying and, like, things like that for them.
But what you don't get, though, is the bomb that gets dropped at the end of this, like, thing of why he's calling himself a coward.
Yeah, we don't know that yet. But, yeah, he's really beating himself up, and we don't understand why. We think he's just feeling useless. But then all of a sudden we're with Straff. He wake the fuck up. Damn it.
Damn.
I know. I was like, ugh, he's alive.
I know. He's the next antagonist, other than, like, the deepness, but he's, like, the side antagonist that we gotta worry about now.
Yeah, because he decides to follow Zane's plan, and they're pulling back. So they're pulling their army back to let the Colossus attack, and then they're gonna join in later.
And so it begins.
And so it begins. So Sazed is prepping. He is storing up as much as he can of his various senses. And then Clubs is there, and they're like chatting back and forth. And I just love them because they're like, I mean, we just kept them off for a few days, and then Sazed's like, it was a simple delay of time, or delay of the inevitable, I fear. And Club's like, of course it was, but it was an important delay. Vin and Ellen are almost 4 days away now. Like, they're talking about it all. And then on it's page 656 for me, but Clubs goes, your woman has been looking for you. And Sazed's like, my woman?
Excuse me?
He's like, what? We are not. What? And then Clubs just kind of looks at him, like, raises an eyebrow, and he's like, very well, and sighs. And yeah. And then he goes to find her, right? Yeah. Yes.
Yeah, he like immediately like buffed back up. And he's like, oh, got it.
Yeah. And then he goes,
that's the woman.
He goes to find her, and Dox is there, and Breeze, and they're all basically discussing the plan. And the plan is basically like, they're splitting up the crew and putting at least a crew member at every gate. So if Penrod's soldiers or generals or whatever aren't doing what needs to be done, they can do what needs to be done. And then Sazed and Tindwyl are talking, and he's like, why did you stay? There's no place for you here. And she says, there's no place for you either, Sazed. These are my friends. I will not leave them. Then why did you convince their leaders to leave? And Tindwyl says, survival is not a luxury often afforded to leaders. When they accept the devotion of others, they must accept the responsibility that comes with it. This people will die, but they need not die feeling betrayed. And she's like, they expect to be saved. Even Doxson thinks that they're going to survive, and he's the most practical one in this bunch. So they are just talking back and forth, and then he's like, is it stubbornness or hope that kept you here in the city? And she looks at him and says, neither. And then they're doing that like movie scene thing where they're just like looking at each other. And he puts his arms around her, and she's like, do you know why I love you, Sazed? And he says, I cannot fathom. And she said, because you never give in. And then they go through this whole thing. And I will fucking sob if something happens to one of them. Fucking sobbing.
She's sobbing already.
Can't. Cannot. Ugh. And that's the end of chapter 50.
Yeah, and the end of that, the last sentences, and at that moment, the wall top warning drums began to beat. Dun, dun, dun.
Here it goes. Yeah. This next 2 chapters was just a lot. And not even just the next 2 chapters, the rest of the book was a lot. Chapter 51. Vin is feeling she feels like the pulsing or the drumbeat kind of vibe in her chest from what she believes is the Well of Ascension. And it's getting weaker and she's really confused.
Listen, I don't, okay, first of all, I think it's a red herring, the well. I think it is like a well of power. I don't think it's a well. I also low-key see the genius that Brandon Sanderson did, because I think it's in Luthadel. And the reason why I think it's in Luthadel is because they focused a little too much on the sewers, or at least on the wells in the Ska regions where poisoning was happening. Now, I'm not saying it's somewhere in the sewer system, but I think it's at least in Luthadel. I think it was a red herring that he started talking about the well with the Skas. I think it was one of those things oh damn, there's some sinister shit happening back in Luthadel. We need to get her to the Well of Ascension sooner, kind of thing.
Right.
When really, I don't think it's in Terrace at all. I actually think it's in Luthadel. And I don't think it's a well by that term. I honestly think it's the deepness. And maybe
I literally put
what if it's Zane? Oh my god, what if it's Zane?
I literally put, so the Mist Spirit, the Deepness, and Zane's God are all the same, right? We agree on that? Those are all the same thing? That's what I wrote about this. But the Mist Spirit is trying to kill Ellen? Question mark.
See, that was a little weird. I was why are you standing over Ellen as if he's the cause of everything?
Yeah. It sort of makes sense to me now that I finished the book. But it still doesn't entirely make sense. So I'm just gonna put a pin in that. Oh, what was I about to say? 665. So there's someone following them, and it's a camp of 5 men. And Vin's we'll let Ellen decide what to do about them. But let's let him sleep a little bit longer. But she is it's draft scouts. Well, we know that it's not draft scouts. It's not. He's not sending scouts after them. First of all, he was passed the fuck out. There was no one. He wasn't awake to send scouts after them. And then I was is it Alrayan's bandits? Who the fuck? Who is this?
I know. I thought it was Alrayan at the beginning, because then she kept the bandits. And I kind of wonder if she kept the bandits in an attempt to be hey, you owe me a favor. I gave you all of these things. Now be a part of my father's army.
Yeah.
If she's low key getting extra members to help fight. But I first thought it was, in fact, her little band of misfits. I'm like, why would you run away to go get this band of misfits to take you back to your father just to go find them again?
Right? That's what I was thinking too. I was like, what the fuck? But while they're waiting on Ellen to wake up, her and Spook are talking again. And he is talking again about how he wishes that he was more important. Basically, he's like, if I were a Mistborn, I could save people, help people who need it. I could stop people from dying. But I'm just Spook, weak, a coward. And he won't look her in the eyes. And she's like thinking in her head, what's that about? And I was like, is there another traitor in the group? Like, obviously, Orsor was actually not Orsor. We know that. And then Sazed is lying to her. But now it feels like maybe Spook is also being a little sketchy.
Yeah, see, I didn't like that Spook was being a little sketchy in this one, but I also think it's just because he's got some anxiety over, because he made a comment that he was like a coward or something. So I think maybe he's like talking from like lack of confidence, maybe. Kind of like how Vin was before she murdered Zane.
Yeah. Then the fighting is starting, so they're like getting to their spots and starting the fight. But then we are with Straff again. And this arrogant idiot is just ugh. He's like, don't rush. We're gonna go back toward Luthadel, but we're not gonna rush. We're gonna take our time. And he says in his head, of course, he's like, with stimulants, he was able to remain strong enough to stay atop his saddle, though he wouldn't have dared to fight. Of course, he wouldn't have fought in any case. That wasn't his way. One brought armies to do such things.
Yeah, okay.
Fuck you. And then we're back in the city with the crew. And they are struggling. They're struggling pretty hard. It is a shit show.
Mm-hmm.
They take...
But we're here.
Yeah.
We're trying.
They take more than half of the army that's at Sazed's gate and take them to a different gate.
Yeah, they took 6 companies, and that's 100. So that's 600.
Yeah. And they only had 1,000 at their gate to begin with. So now, like, yikes. But the Colossus were tired of just waiting and piling up at a single gate, and they are smarter than they gave them credit for, and they start moving to surround the city. And so now they are coming for the other gates, like
and
Sazed's.
Honestly, just seeing like a bunch of big, giant, like 7'5" blue blobs running at you full force.
With half of them, their skin is like splitting because they're too big. like
fucking terrifying. And honestly,
yeah,
you watched,
like
Attack on Titan yet?
No, I have not. Brittany has.
That's the same feeling these bitches got.
Yeah, I don't know.
You hear that, Brittany? Well, Attack on Titan. Same feeling.
Yeah. It's gonna be a while before she listens to this one. She's re-listening to Fourth Wing and Iron Flame so she can listen to Onyx Storm for the first time so she can catch up on the podcast. She hasn't listened to a single episode since we started Onyx Storm, so she's way behind.
It's fine. Will's like 2 years behind, so
it's fine.
We'll just blame ADHD.
Yeah. And so it's a shit show, and then we are back with Ellen and Vin. And the camp of men that was following them is, I can't remember how to say this every time I say it, and then I say it the other. Jace. It's Jace and it's a few of his men.
With a J.
Yeah. And they just left the Colossus outside of Luthadel, because they wouldn't listen.
Yeah, he couldn't handle him anymore.
Yeah, they wouldn't listen to him anymore. Because there was a fire in their supply carts. Those supply carts that he carried the wooden coins in that he paid the Colossus with. So he left them and let them go on the city. And Elend's like, he's like, forgive me, Elend. And Elend's like, okay, I forgive you. And then he cuts his fucking head off.
Listen. Holy shite, Elend. What the fuck? He was just like, slice.
Yeah.
Dusty. Not for the resties.
Yep. And he's basically like, this was a better death than he deserved, but he was my friend, so bury him to the guys that were traveling with him. And once you're through, you are welcome to travel with me, or you may return to your homes. And then he walks away.
Yeah.
And he's like, he's not wrong. I abandoned them too. And she's like, Vin is like, no, like, you left to protect Luthadel. And then Spook tells them the truth. He tells them that the well isn't to the north, it's at Luthadel. Or wait, no. He tells them that Sazed lied, basically. And then Vin figures it out. Vin is like, the well isn't to the north, it's at Luthadel.
She doesn't have concrete evidence. She just feels it in her bones.
Yeah. And Spook is like, nope, they're all dead. Like it's too late.
You shouldn't even bother going back. They're all dead.
Yeah.
We're too late. I'm a coward. I should have done more. That's where all of that talk came from. Now, not to say that he's like not actually feeling that, because he might be.
Yeah.
But like willingly leaving without actually fighting or doing anything.
Yeah. And he was supposed to go with them and tell them the truth once they got to the city, so they wouldn't kill themselves climbing the mountain in the winter for no reason. But he said, but when Clubs talked to me, it was also to say goodbye. I could see it in his eyes. He knew he'd never see me again. And Vanna's like, yeah, fuck that. Swallows a handful of pewter powder and takes off running.
To be honest, just hearing the word pewter powder really just kind of makes me want to gag. I feel like you're drinking sand.
Yeah.
I get it, you're going to be like washing it down with water, but I still feel like you're drinking sand, or attempting to. Yeah.
And that is the end of chapter 51. So chapter 52 starts, and they're battling, and they're battling, and they're battling. And it's not going well.
Yeah, they started, like, the arrows aren't doing anything. They started throwing rocks over, but they started using the rocks to come right back.
Yeah. And it's just not going well. And Breeze is basically like, fuck, we're gonna lose. Like, he's starting to get a little bit negative Nancy-ish. And Clubs is like, meh, we got this.
Although those Colossus are damn hard beasts to kill.
Yeah.
Well, and we did find out that Clubs was a part of a group of people that ended up using the Colossus to take over a lot of places.
He did, yes. And that's how he knows they're hard to kill.
Because he commanded those armies. Almost. Kind of.
Yeah.
As a young lad.
I don't have much for the rest of this chapter, but one thing Vin is like, how dare they? How dare they not give me the same chance Kelsier had? How dare they refuse my protection, refuse to let me help them? And I'm like, it's because they know that you're the one that has to survive. Like, you are the one that can make the change. You're the one that has to survive. And then I wrote in my notes, like the Harry Potter chess scene, not me, not Hermione,
not Hermione,
you.
No, Ron, you can't. There's got to be another way.
Exactly.
Stop Snape from getting that stone or not.
It's you that has to go on. We all know it. Not me. Not Hermione. You.
We came in from the other day. We came into the apartment, and I don't even know what brought it up, but all of a sudden I started thinking of, Lily came out and she looked like she was mad or something like that. She's like, where have you been? Bed's empty. No note. Oh God.
Yes, I do that all the time when we come home with the dog. Or if I come home and then Brittany is out somewhere with the dog. Like sometimes when she goes to pick up her groceries, they'll leave a little early and go to the park before. And when they come back in, I immediately do that. Where have you been?
Oh my God. Oh, shit's great.
But anyway, well, Sazed is losing hope a little bit.
Yeah, we kind of see everybody kind of going through the motions of losing hope and kind of wondering, like, why am I here? What brought me here? Yeah. And I do like this. I think this right here is kind of like the whole concept and the whole idea of Kelsier having like the religion, because they're all thinking like, what would Kelsier do? Or Kelsier would be all right in this situation. He would just be super optimistic. He'd be like, all right, well, at least we're doing this for the greater good. Like,
yeah,
that's why they're talking about it's the Church of the Savior. Like,
yeah, and that comes up. Like the Church of the Savior, the people show up to like watch for Vin to come back. Basically, they're like, the Lady Heir will protect us, and he's like, the Lady Heir has left the city. Then we will watch you, Holy First Witness. And Sazed's like, what the fuck? Why are you calling me that? What's happening? And they're like, you are the one who brought news of the Lord Ruler's death. You gave the Lady Heir the spear she used to slay our Lord, and you were the witness to her actions. And the old man says, a witness, if the heir is to join this fight, she will appear near you. And Sazed is like, I sent her away. I sent their God to safety, like in his head. And I'm like, oh, but she's coming back, Sazed. Like, she's gonna earn their faith. And then, like, Sazed turns into like he's like Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, Hulk smash. Like, he gets super fucking big and is like, I was like, oh, or you will prove, you will earn their faith.
It's so funny too, because he was like, I'm not a warrior, I can't do any of this, I'm a scholar, I'm this. And then he's like, but if I don't do something, nobody will. And it's so true. Like, that's it's one to start a ripple. Yeah. And so that's when he like just muscled up. He tapped into his pewter. And then he literally just fucking punched the lead Colas in the face. And then he just turns around, just like fucking Hulk. And he just looks at everybody staring at him. And then apparently he has a sudden deepness and strength in his voice too. Because when he did it, he was like, fight!
Yeah, he like a general yells and it's like all deep and shit.
And they did. So instead of like, because the Colas, like the bodies were piling up, so they were actually able to go over the end or whatever. Yeah. So they were able to enter, and Sazed was like, they're all gonna run, they're all gonna hide, they're not gonna do any of this.
Right.
So that's what happened.
And then we're back with Vin, and Vin goes to this village and is basically like, I need metal to do this. And she gets the idea to take horseshoes and kind of make her own, like, really weird carnival ride to get her there quicker. But she finally starts to believe,
juggling.
Yeah. But she finally starts to believe that she can
save them.
Yeah, get there and save them, and that is where it all ends.
Yeah, because they don't recognize her too, because like it's a tiny little area, a little hovel, whatever. And they're all happy and they're all laughing, and she's like, why are they laughing? They don't know what is going to befall them. And she's like, but they have hope. And so like that's kind of when she starts turning around, and then they welcome her in. They don't question anything. And then as she's about to leave with all her fucking horseshoes, they go, oh my God, you're her, aren't you?
Yeah.
And then she basically just tells them her parting advice of what is it? Because she tells them she's nobody of consequence, and that's when they're like, oh, you're her, aren't you? And she goes, yes. Whoop. And then she just goes.
And then she takes off. And that is the end of chapter 52. And this episode.
I was about to say, and this episode. Goodbye. But yeah, so I guess join us next time as we start off chapter 53 and we finish part 5, Snow and Ash. Excuse me. And until next time.
Bye.